What's up, everyone? A lot of good racing coming up this weekend. Sadly, there's some guys that I'd like to see racing that are getting weeks off or several weeks off, but a lot of good racing coming up this weekend. A lot to look forward to. Also, if you're a wrestling fan, check out all the WrestleMania stuff. We got WrestleMania 2 nights, stand and deliver for NXT, all that stuff. On my wrestling show, Wrestling with Jesse Rosinski, going to be a busy weekend. Lots of stuff throughout the whole entire thing. New episodes, videos, all kinds of stuff. So if you're a wrestling fan, you hear this, check that out because there'll be a lot of it because there's a lot of wrestling this weekend. So do that as well, and also check out all the content I put out for last weekend. From you know the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Xfinity Cup Series at the Circuit of the Americas, COTA. Sioux Falls for snowcross. We had Formula E in Sao Paulo. We had Supercross in Seattle. A lot of stuff to check out. And I broke it all down per the event just to make it faster than having a really long super episode. I think it's just easier to break it all down on this one and then break them all down separately just because it goes a lot faster later on. And, people can get through this stuff more rapidly, but let me know what you think. I think it, works out better. But like I said, big weekend of racing coming up. Before we get into that action, I have to say Formula E is off until April 22nd for round 7 in Berlin for the Sabic Berlin E-Prix. We have Moto America off until April 21st to the 23rd at Road Atlanta. I've said it a few times, but there it is again. Supercross is off until April 8th at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona for a Triple Crown. So it'll be a good one. Jet Lawrence, I loved his reaction when they told him it was going to be another Triple Crown, just because if you know his history there, him and Triple Crowns don't get along, but I'm excited about that. ARCA Menards off until April 22nd at Talladega for the General Tire 200. ARCA Menards East off until April 28th at Dover Motor Speedway for the General Tire 125. And there's might be a lot of series that are off this weekend. I'm, thankful just because I already got enough WrestleMania and shows and wrestling stuff to do. There, just try to fit. I'm going to have my iPad going, the projector going. Like I'm going to have 2 or 3 screens going at the same time, trying to make sure I watch everything. But there might be a lot of stuff off this weekend. Like I just mentioned, a whole, handful of them. But you can't forget that, this weekend we have IndyCar back at Texas. On Sunday, so it's a big day on Sunday. You got F1, IndyCar, and the Cup Series race. I think that's, a good combination. Again, if you're a wrestling fan, you have night 2 of WrestleMania. Like there's a lot going on there, but I think Marcus Ericsson, Will Power, all those guys are going to show up again. First oval race of the season. So, and again, new year. So everyone figured out something. So I'm waiting to see, where everyone's going to be, to go from St. Pete to an oval like Texas, completely different thing. I just want to see, who's still there, what everyone's gained, all of that. A lot of speed at Texas. And I think it's going to be a really good race. And I think everyone should check it out. I just don't have, again, no matter what, it might not be like Formula E with a completely new car, NASCAR last year, an F1 with a completely new car. There's not that, but everyone still, does new things, picks up, improves things. So I just want to see, where everyone's going to be with that. So make sure you check that out on Sunday. Again, big day. Formula One, IndyCar, and the NASCAR Cup Series should be good. With NHRA Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, March 30th through April 2nd, aka we're already there. At least to the day, Friday. That kicks off, goes through Sunday, Pomona, California. Should be good. Again, they haven't done a lot, so it'll be good to see what they're going to, do there and who's going to keep stepping up because, who was stepping up really big at the beginning of last year compared to, the middle and the end. There's a good ebb and flow with more people, figured things out and got momentum and all that going. So I'm looking forward to see all that. We got American Flat Track Saturday, April 1st, the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT presented by Ride Now Power Sports. It's at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park in Chandler, Arizona. And there's nothing to go off of from last season, but I do have some expectations just from, what I've seen with them and the guys that always seem to find a way to be there. And that would be the Dallas Daniels, Jared Mees, Briar Bowman's, Cody Kopp, always right there in his, division. Dalton Gautier also there. And Can't forget people like Jared Vanderkoy, Chase Sadoff, JD Beach on the list. They deserve to be mentioned. They're always right there in contention, but I think, it's going to be, Jared Mees is always there and Cody Kopp in there, two things, in their division, they're going to be people to really watch out for all season. They always have speed. Those other guys always have speed and are right there in contention. And everyone does slip, at some point every race, but those guys are always on top of it. So really good stuff. See when it airs and all that, because there's always a delay, but really good racing. Like it should be really, really good. So find it, hit search. That's how I had to do it to reset everything. And then go into motorsports or auto race, whichever was under to do it again. But have it set. Really good stuff. If you like the racing, again, you can fast forward through commercials to make it, from an hour thing to half hour, 40 minutes. And again, it might only be a little time, but it saves you commercials. So you can get right to the racing and all the interviews. You could skip that. And it really is good stuff. And, the more people watch it, the more likely they are to get on something where everyone can watch it on a regular schedule, live and all. And it just keeps it growing and helps it out. So please make sure, check it out. American Flat Track Saturday, the 1st in Arizona. ARCA Menards Series West, also running Saturday for the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame 150 at Irwindale Speedway. I know you guys are tired of hearing me say it. There it is. We're finally here. Start time 7 p.m., 150 laps, 75 miles, airing on CNBC at noon on April 23rd. And I said that as happy as but a 22-day, delay is just absurd, obnoxious. And I'm going to leave it at that before I start throwing out F-bombs, because I think I've been doing a pretty damn good job with that. But live streaming on Flow Racing, radio will be arcaracing.com. That sucks live, though. 22-day delay. But last year, Tanner Reif was first, Cole Moore was second, Austin Herzog was third, and Jake Drew was fourth. Jake Drew is, a staple out there, so I expect more, good things from that. We just got to see how it all works out for all of them, and I might go over the results, after it's done. I might wait. Haven't decided yet, but be on the lookout, because whenever I do it, it'll be its own episode. You will see, ARCA Menards West Coast, la-da-da-da-da. You'll see it, and it'll have its own thing. So be on the lookout for it whenever it comes. I'm not very enthused that the race is on the 1st, and they're not airing it until the 23rd on CNBC at noon of all things. I don't like it, but I'm not going to do about that. Moving on, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, SpeedyCash.com 250 at the Texas Motor Speedway Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on FS1 and MRN. You get a doubleheader on Saturday for, the trucks and Xfinity. It's just the trucks aren't in Richmond with the Xfinity and Cup Series. Still should be good. Entry list, we got Trey Hutchins the 3rd and the 14th for Bobby Hutchins Jr., Keith McGee in the 34 for Olivia Morrison, Chad Chastain getting another shot in the 41 for Al Neese, Armani Williams in the 46 for Timothy Vaines. 2022's results. We got to see Stuart Friesen get the win last year. He deserved it. I mean, really, he did. Where he went, he looked fantastic. That was his race. Good to see it. Christian Eck is 2nd. We all know what he's been doing this year. Carson Hocevar was 4th. He needs another run like that, because, something seemed to have not clicked since a point in the last season. I thought he was going to come back better. Ty Majeski's 5th, Matty D was 10th, Haley Deegan 17th, Ben Rhodes 27th, Zane Smith all the way back in 32nd. And the big thing for me is I'm excited to see what Nick Sanchez can do, in the truck in this opportunity at Texas, because he's been pretty damn good everywhere they went, and we all knew the talent that he had. So I'm looking forward to see what he could do in the truck at Texas here. I think it's going to be a really good night for him, a good showing. See if Friesen can get another win, what Chad Chastain can do. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up in anyone else's stupid or, doesn't have a mechanical thing, and he could run the whole race just so we could see what Ross's brother can do. Because he has talent. It's just, how does everything work out? Luck, all kinds of things. See if Chris Neckes and Zane Smith can continue to do their thing. If Haley can get a good run in here, Matt Crafton, because he's way better than he was last year right now. See if he can continue that. All that again. It might not be, the first mile and a half, but in this configuration with the dog, it's a whole different beast. And the way the truck, Texas Motor Speedway was, see if there's a good race, even though I don't think the trucks ever really don't deliver, but it should be really good again. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on FS1, coming on after NASCAR Xfinity Series Toyota Care 250 from the Richmond Raceway, which is on Saturday, 1 p.m. on FS1 and MRN. Entry list, it's a simple one. Joe Graff Jr. in the 19 for Gibbs this weekend, getting another opportunity. Last year, Ty Gibbs won. And if I remember correctly, and we all remember correctly, I believe that was the day John Nemechek said, drivers don't forget, after Ty pretty much just ran him over when they were, teammates for that race to get the win. And, that's how Ty Gibbs rolls. Don't care, matter how many he says, thank the Lord, do all his driving style proves otherwise, but still a good race. And I think John Hunter's going to be fantastic again. Sam Mayer was third, AJ Allmendinger fourth, Riley Herbst fifth, Danny Hamrick sixth, Josh Berry seventh, Brandon Brown eighth, Ryan Sieg ninth, and Parker Retzlaff was 10th. Brandon Jones was 13th after a good run. Cody's going to need some more of those. Austin Hill was 18th. I think he's going to do a lot better. He's on fire, minus what happened, again in Coda. Minus mechanicals and bad luck. He's won 3 races so far this early. So I think he's going to be fantastic. Sheldon Creed, a lot of bad luck last year. He's doing better. Joe Graff Jr. is 29th in the 07. Figured that was worth mentioning now that he's in a Gibbs car this weekend. And really, I just want to see, some specific things like Austin Hill bouncing back after, the mechanical issues at Coda, which, again, like I said, not being able to get it into gear properly had to cause a problem. In the motor, over revving it on, so all that, that was expected. See how we could bounce back. See if Cole Custer can get, a run like we expected him to have there at Richmond now, after getting finally, decent, better than 12th. He's always 12th, 12th, 12th. He's got to do better than that consistently because we all thought he was going to be run for a championship. So I want to see what he can do. And I want to see what the rest of the field can do just because there's no Cup drivers in the field. And you don't get to say that very often. So that's really cool. I will tell, but it'll be a good race. So make sure to check it out. Like I said, Saturday, 1 p.m. on FS1, followed by the Craftsman Truck Series at Texas at 4:30 on FS1. Whole big weekend. All the races are on FS1 this week and nothing on the mothership. So just got to stick it there on Saturday and you'll get all of the NASCAR action for Saturday, which gets us to NASCAR Cup Series, Toyota Owners 400, Richmond Raceway, Sunday, 3:30 p.m. on FS1 and MRN. I'm hoping nothing too chaotic and stupid happens just because WrestleMania's on. I got a lot of things. But entry list, Josh Berry in the 9 again. Jordan Taylor, does the road courses. Well, Chase is gone. Josh Berry, back in there for the ovals. Chandler Smith's in the 13 for Colleague. Last year, Denny Hamlin won. Kevin Harvick was second, which was a really good early season run because, Kevin and the rest of Haas was in a downswing. So it was good to see that. William Byron third, and he's been on fire this year. Martin Truex Jr. fourth, Kyle Larson fifth, Christopher Bell sixth, Ryan Blaney seventh, Alex Bowman eighth, Kyle Busch ninth, and Austin Dillon 10th. We saw Brad Keselowski in 13th, Ty Dillon in 24th, Bubba Wallace in 26th, AJ Allmendinger 27th part-time, Corey LaJoie is 31st. I want to see him do better. We all know I want him to see better. I think he's going to do better. They've looked much better this year, but really, most importantly, I want to see what the racing is like. Because again, the way they've just been bulldozing people, it's not good. It's not a good look. People are getting pissed. Well, we've seen respectful racing. And I know they could do it, but again, look how Ty Gibbs won the Xfinity race last year. Just dunk by to his own teammate. Look how he won Martinsville. Eliminated Brandon Jones from the playoffs. And slammed right through him like it didn't exist. There's been a lot of that. And I want to see if we can get more, good racing, clean, respectful stuff like you saw with Joey and Brad 2 weeks ago, like we saw Reddick and Byron do, for the longest time at Coda last weekend, and they raced clean, and people can do it. I just want to see if, anyone, get the younger guys to start doing it. Yeah, we all said it wasn't going to be the same ones. Never mind senior dying, that really hurt a lot, but, once the older guys went away, like it just, we all knew it was going to change, and it's been really bad. Literally, there's been a lot of body slamming and just running people over. We all seen it. Can't complain. So hopefully, as we saw those guys running good, hopefully, more people do it. I'm not holding my breath. Time will tell, but I can hope. We can all hope, damn it. See how Corey LaJoie runs. Again, been a much better season. I think they're really, growing and doing things, seeing what they could do. There, I still don't get Ty Dillon, but the hell do I know? He's consistently, Ty Dillon just gets rides because of who he is. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Kenny Wallace. Posted it on his Twitter. Like, who, everyone keeps saying it. Who has a ride just because of money or who they are, not racing talent? Like, I don't know. He was here to Ty Dillon, no matter what anyone says about everyone else, Ty Dillon, what has he done? Nothing. He won one Xfinity Series race, and he's done literally nothing in the Cup and consistently been outrun by every teammate and everyone he's ever had. And by the whole field, pretty much. So there's one. You could say, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Richard. When for his dad's grandfather, he wouldn't be in the Cup Series anymore. There's people that are much farther down that deserve much more chances, and yet he keeps getting. I give him credit when it's due, but I got to be honest there too. See if Bubba can get his shit together. I hate to break it to you, but in his head and get a good normal run. So, yeah, he's just a mental breakdown all the time. And no matter how much, Kurt is working with the team and helping, if anyone knows how to be, way the hell up here when it comes to his nuclear meltdown all the time, might threaten to punch people in the face, everything else that's happened, he needs to get in there and work with Bubba because his head is not right. And I agree with him again. Until he can get his head on right, he doesn't deserve it. And they should get a new driver because he's never going to do anything good when his head is always just having a nuclear meltdown, in my opinion. I want to see, what Josh Berry can do in the 9, how Chandler Smith runs for Colleague. And most importantly, the big ones, see who pisses me off this weekend because they just can't help themselves. And also to see Larry back home in the booth for the Cup race. They need him more than they use him. I think that'll be really, good. He's really good at that. And I think it'll be a fantastic homecoming. And I look forward to it. And I don't give a damn what anyone says. Larry Mack in there will add good energy and insight because he is America's crew chief. I mean, he really is. So excited to see that. Don't forget Sunday, 3:30, FS1 and MRN, all on FS1, all NASCAR races, all three of them this weekend, whether it's Xfinity, Truck, or Cup, all on FS1. So make sure to check them out. Short track, I still like Richmond under the lights better, just the visual, but we'll see how it all works out and if there's any stupid. And don't forget, there's also this on Sunday. Like I said, it's a big day. F1, Rolex Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park Circuit, Sunday, 1 p.m. ESPN. Last year, Charles Leclerc won after his teammate had issues. Sergio Perez was second. Max had issues. And George Russell was third with his teammate Lewis Hamilton fourth. Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo were 5th and 6th for McLaren. Alpine finished 7th and 17th. Williams finished 10th and 16th. And the Haas finished 13th and 14th. Again, like I said, Max Verstappen didn't finish. Carlos Sainz didn't finish. And Sebastian Vettel was also on that list. And we all know what we're looking forward to going into this race. Obviously, Max. We're all, anyone is going to pick him, especially after, not working out for him, having the issues last weekend. Excuse me again. For that, whenever one of those things happen, I expect him to come out even stronger, and he's that good. He has the speed, so I expect he's going to be good. I want to see though what the Haas guys can do, because they've been sketchy. What the McLaren guys can do, and the Alpines, because they've just been sketchy as hell, and I don't like any of it. So we got to see what they can do. See if Williams can get points again, because again they were there that one race, and the next race was, they had abysmal. So got to see how that works out. See if Mercedes has improved and all, because again, where we expected them to be between the end of last season and then testing and all that, we expected a much larger gain. They did not give it to us. And I know Toto and them are working on it, so I'm not putting it past them. But we gotta, see if they did anything to get closer to the competition. And I will also close out the F1 thing by saying it's really, really odd to have the Australian GP and not have Daniel Ricciardo on the grid. The Red Bull reserve driver, maybe he'll get some laps just because they are there. They have to give people lap time anyway, but that's really weird. So I like him. I like his energy. I thought he's made some strange choices when it comes to, teams and decisions between, Red Bull going to Renault, then leaving Renault after a year to go to McLaren, and then look how that worked out, even though he wasn't the problem. Lando hasn't done anything. It's just, it just sucks to see him not there. So, at least I'm honest. Probably sucks for a lot of us. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Get YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify for podcasters, where you can also give financial support to the show on a monthly thing or leave voice messages. I really don't care, but those are the options for that. So check all those out. Check out everything else I put out throughout the week. Again, Supercross Seattle, NASCAR at Coda, there's a lot of stuff out there on, besides that, if you're a wrestling fan, check out the Wrestling with Jesse Rosinsky stuff over the weekend. And until we meet again when the races are done, enjoy your weekend. Bye.